How is everybody doing? Mark ought to be here shortly. I believe he probably got called into a meeting. So today we're just going to do the whole ADHD thing, and we were going to talk about how Twitter, the blue checks on Twitter are having a complete meltdown. We were going to talk about Vaxxer karma, and we'll save those two topics definitely for Mark to get here too. But we also are going to talk about the wave of type 2 diabetes that is overtaking the national the healthcare system in whatchamacallit. There's my motherfucker.
What's up?
What's going on? What's going on?
I had a last minute call, hung up right away.
That's what I told everybody. You probably got called into a meeting, so I was just going to fucking rip through a few of them.
Thought we were 12:30. Am I late?
It's 12:30.
Oh, you already started?
Yeah, we're on, motherfucker.
Oh shit!
I thought you got caught.
Look, I didn't say anything racist or anti-Semitic. They'll cancel my ass in a second.
How does that work? Like
what? Being anti-Semitic, you hate Jews.
Yeah, but no, I'm familiar with that, dude. but how? For those of you that don't follow, it's at Mark Lobliner on Twitter, right? And yeah. I see you get called an anti-Semitic all the fucking time.
Hold on. Let me get my. This is my free pass to make fun of Jews.
Yeah.
Break out my Star of David. Hold on. Let me get this out. If my nose wasn't enough, I have a Star of David. If my nose and my knowledge of financial wealth wasn't enough. No, I get called anti-Semitic every day. And it's crazy because I'm literally Semitic as fuck.
You are.
There's a shirt, Semitic as fuck. Yes. Yeah. Yes, that's our first project. I'll tell Chad.
Yes, that's outstanding. I love Semitic as fuck.
So would you wear that? Would you wear Semitic as fuck?
Yeah, fuck yeah.
Just in solidarity?
I think you know me. There's very little I will like. It's almost like a bonus if somebody finds it offensive. You know, like the only thing I won't do, like I will say this, I won't do blackface.
No, you can't do blackface.
Because I just find it like I get tan enough. You know, so like,
dude, I'm a bodybuilder. I put tan on my face. I've done blackface many times.
Yeah. I'm seriously.
Oh my god!
But no, I'd wear Semitic. I'd wear Semitic as fuck. I would. So.
Well, I mean, here's the deal, man. Like, so Mike, my partner, Mike Rashid, our good friend, right? Mm-hmm. He did a podcast, and someone commented on like, you know, Jews owning Hollywood and owning these companies and running these companies, and I'm like. I don't know if it's like a concerted effort by Jews to own stuff. I don't know if they like talk because I'm never invited to the meetings, but like I'm never invited. I'm like, why aren't I invited to these meetings? I should be invited to these meetings. I've earned the right to be invited to these meetings. Right. But like, so the deal is like the owners of these companies, they're Jewish. Mm-hmm. Like they're Jewish. So it's like, this company is owned by Jews. Oh my God. You said, I'm like, no, literally like if you said, hey, the Outright Bar is owned by a Jew, I'd be like, yeah. It's like a minority-owned business is owned by a minority, right? Well, whatever a minority is, right? But like, I say, hey, that's a black-owned business. Like, yes, Ambrosia is part black-owned business. We have Mike Rashid as an owner, right? Like, but if like, hey, but somehow, if you say it's a Jewish-owned business, Jewish people get all mad. They're like, how dare you say that? But you're Jewish.
Yeah. It's gotten so strange, and like the whole like I mean people I get asked about the Kanye thing a bunch of times. I'm like, you guys don't see how like they're proving his point right now.
Oh my God!
I mean, like
such a bad look.
It is such a bad look. Like he says like something anti-Semitic, and it was, by the way, for those of you saying like I think he was stupid as fuck for the tweet. Like
I mean, he's Kanye. He's an artist. Let him art. Artists say stupid shit.
No, well, very, very valid point. It's not like I've never said anything fucking stupid in my creations either. So
not even this morning, both of us said really stupid things. I'm sure. Today,
today alone.
Just in the last 10 minutes.
That's a huge portion of Twitter. You just throw like today. I was by the way, like you're right. Today I was talking earlier. My live this morning. I was talking about skin fold fungus. So and then it went on to a tangent. So
oh my, the skin fold fungus.
Real thing. It's a real thing.
Yeah, I if you have skin folds, I think you probably need to check yourself a little bit.
Oh, they do. I mean, do so much.
By the way, Rebecca, I need to bring this up. I have done a concerted effort that every training video I post has a Kanye song in the background. You're welcome. You're welcome. I'm ahead of you. I'm trying to trigger all the fake. The problem is the Democrats are the same one who got mad at Trump saying Jerusalem is the capital of, is like the capital of Israel, right?
Yeah.
And they're the same ones like, oh my God, you said that about Jews. Dude, you literally said all Jews should die because they're fighting Palestinians. Like, you can't have it both ways. Either like Jews and you're Zionist or you're not. Are you a Zionist or you're not? Like, come on, let's go. Zionism? I'm not a Zionist. I don't give a fuck. I'm an Americanist. I don't give a fuck.
That's right. And you know, the fucked up thing is, like I said, they're showing, they're like, what he said is now true. Like, they're literally trying to extricate him. Like JP Morgan and Chase will do fucking business with terrorists, you know, like, but Kanye West says some stupid shit and fucking, they're going to debank him. Like, fucking like Adidas drops him. Adidas did fucking work with the Nazis.
They were the Nazis. The guy, the AD and Adidas literally stands for their owner's name, this founder's name. You know his name was? Adolf. Like, you can't be more Nazi. Dude, if you name your kid Adolf.
Yeah.
I know this is before Hitler, but like, I don't know if Adolf was like a common name like Chris. You know, like, was Adolf in Germany like, okay, what's a good name for our kid? Mike, George. Let's go with Adolf.
Yeah. And then now, like, it, but to name your kid Adolf now is like, you're kind of like setting their path for them. You know what I mean?
What if you named your dog Adolf? Would that be anti-Semitic? Like, what if I got a dog and I said, I'm going to name you Adolf?
But the scary thing is, dude,
Stalin.
I can see you doing it.
Here's Adolf totally and Stalin. Well, I got Ruckus and Blaze. Adolf and Stalin, and then and don't forget Putin, my little dog Vladimir.
Mark is an anti-Semite because he called out Ben Shapiro.
I like Ben. I think Ben Shapiro's a smart man.
I do too. I just think I think he
took money. I think he got bribed.
I think he took money. Yeah.
I think he got paid. And no, you know what I think it is? Somebody else had a good, who was it? I can't say who it was because it was a conversation between A and B, right? It wasn't a public conversation. And so in this media world, you might not get paid, but you might get favoritism. Anybody notice that the Daily Wire was able to get away with saying a lot of things that got a lot of people banned?
Me and you discussed that at one point in time, because I remember telling you, I was like, I have no idea how the fuck they're saying this shit. Because
Candace has gotten away with saying shit that you and I and Ben, well, I mean, but not really. She's an Uncle Tom Messina.
Yeah.
I don't know what they call him, but no, Candace is black. I've met her. She's definitely not a Caucasian, unless she has a really good fucking melanotan.
Yeah.
But here's the deal, like. There's a possibility that one of the social media or the media companies came to Ben, said, look, y'all can do anything you want, do the news, this, that, the third. And remember, Twitter is being funded by Pfizer, as is Fox, as is MSNBC, as is CNN. I believe they're like 70% of their advertising portfolio. So imagine if Twitter's like, yo, you could be the only one out there that can say whatever you want. Whatever you want. We just need you to say that the vaccine, if you don't take it, you're an idiot. And there you go. So I think that's more probable, is that Ben has enough money. I don't think they're like, here's $1 million. And that's too easy to prove, because you can money's findable. Like, you could trace paper. You can't trace a gentleman's agreement.
You can't trace favor. Yeah, that's
bartering. I'll tell you offline who told me that, but it's a 100% reliable source. 100%.
Right. The weird thing about that is, like, Daily Wire had me until like the whole, like, I always admired Shapiro's intellect, because dude, you know how
smart.
I am. Like, he's super fucking smart. And if it's a topic he like, which was what makes it like so unbelievable to me that he was a vaccine guy, because like, he's a big data guy and statistics and everything like that. So it just made it so strange. And that lost me a little bit, but the Peterson, like them fucking pulling Peterson on, like, because I think Peterson has the kind of the same thing. Like, it's a favor thing. Like, He has said shit that has gotten other people like extricated. And not that he hasn't gotten banned from here and there. Like the thing is, look what happens with Trump. Like Trump, they banned Trump from social media, from Twitter, and people don't stop talking about him. Like, but people don't stop talking about him. Like if you get canceled as like somebody like me or you or something like that, they can make us disappear, you know?
Yeah.
But like now, if you get canceled, and if you're Kanye West and you get canceled, like I think that he's the only one that they've actually tried to really, really cancel that is like that they're having a hard time with. Yeah. I don't think they tried to cancel Ben Shapiro. I don't think they tried to cancel these other people at all.
No, but they could have. I mean, someone said that if Candace and Ben got banned, people would scream, no, dude, they banned Trump. They banned a sitting president while he was in office. Like, they would have just been like, tough shit. And no one's going to riot over a Twitter ban. Yeah. So, you know, it is what it is. But yeah, it's again, the Shapiro thing. I like the guy. Like, I really do. I respect the guy, but I think for us not to question his motives, and now he's come out and said he has to, because people are pulling up the receipts.
Yeah, I'm enjoying pulling up the receipts.
You got a whole bunch of receipts today alone. Yeah, dude, like about that one guy, dude. So I made a mistake because I was really tired, and it was like getting ready for bed, and then I started an internet battle with that Titus guy. He actually was DM me, and he's actually a pretty nice guy when we're not in public arguing. Yeah. I think he honestly believes in what he says, which means he just needs, I don't know if it's life experience or what, but look, I think the guy's genuine, and I'm like, dude, you know what? I respect you kind of messaging me. And even though he didn't apologize, he ended it with, we both want what's best for the country. I'm like, done. I'm done. I'm out. I'm never going to say a word about you again. Go ahead and spew your nonsense. I don't care.
He needed to do that though, because you were fucking him up.
It was one-sided, and all they could do is point. Alan,
the second they go to your penis and steroids,
I need to show you my penis. I need someone to vouch for me having a decent-sized penis.
I'll take your word for it.
Then don't open that text I just sent you.
Too fucking late. Too late.
I think it's I don't. Every time, like that one guy today accused creatine of brain damage when creatine literally is being used in Alzheimer's and dementia. We should probably give Joe Biden a good dose of creatine. What's crazy is that every time I make a scholastic argument, a gentleman's argument, I'll be like, well, I actually don't think that's true.
Yeah.
Because such. And then they'll be like, well, the steroids have gone to your head. Okay, first of all, steroids don't affect your neurological fucking pathways. Yeah. Second of all, like, I use my profile pic because it separates me from everybody. Because once I'll be real. I'm going to be honest with everybody on here. All hundreds of people on here right now, right? I'll be honest with y'all. The only reason I have a bodybuilding picture up on Twitter is because when I put it up, I got more followers because I was the only pro bodybuilder who was speaking out on topics that I speak out on. Yeah. So it helped differentiate me as someone who can get more followers. So I did it to get more followers. Unfortunately, with that comes its price. And the price is nobody can debate in even a vile logical argument or disagreement, because it's immediately goes to the steroids got to your brain, which is funny because I literally posted my testosterone levels and they're literally normal. Yeah. So I'm like, what steroids have gotten to my brain? So the bottom line is, I was at the gym at 5 a.m. with my daughter today. Yeah. And every other day starts the same. Like, I eat the same shit every day. I literally but the thing is, I don't make my money bodybuilding, nor do I even identify as a bodybuilder. I'm a business person. Like, I'm on boards of multi-billion-dollar brands. Like, so the fact that I have all of these things under my resume, but the only thing they attack is my body is quite weird, because I would look at it like a fucking icing on the cake. Okay, so this guy not only has built over 10 brands to 8+ figures in sales. Yeah. 8, not 7, not 1 million. I'm talking 10 million plus. Yeah. But he also maintains that body. I don't care what he's taking. How do I do that?
But that's what I always find. Like, I always see this too, like, because me and you get this a lot because we both talk about health a lot. You know what I mean? Like, and we've been moving even more towards that. And we'll get to this stuff in here in a second, right? But reality is, like, all of a sudden, like when we bring it up, especially Twitter's bad about this shit, but they'll be like, well, you're not healthy either. Like, well, let's put this out here. Like, you know, and this is, I'm going to use Mark as an example instead of me, because I don't always, I don't have blood work right in front of me to post, right? If you are, say you were totally blasting steroids right now, say you were just blasting, right? Maybe other people fucking should then. I know this is a very controversial thing, but when a man can post his blood work and it is fucking pristine, when he has energy all goddamn day long, when he can function at a high intellectual level all day, work out at a high intensity level for hours a day, and then still manage to do all the other shit you do, and then still have what would be considered, and this is no shit, envious health markers for every blood panel, like, because
any population, not just my age.
No,
any population, young, old.
Yeah,
there's very few people who are within normal range.
Yeah.
For every single fucking measurement. Very few. It's very rare. You'll be off in maybe your RBCs. You'll be off in your, cholesterol, your lipid profile, your liver enzymes, especially if you train hard, your liver enzymes will be elevated. Mine aren't. So what I'd be asking, rather than saying creatine's going to your brain, I'd be like, okay, I don't care what you're taking.
Yeah.
What are you doing to not die?
Yeah.
What are you doing to get those measurements? Because I want mine to be like that. And that's why I put it out there, is kind of to set examples for people. But I did a whole live stream yesterday. No, I don't think it was a live stream. I did a video. I haven't posted it yet. About, look, man, like in 2013, I did a pretty heavy steroid cycle, and I regret every second of it. So to call me a hypocrite for telling people not to do it, look, man, you're old enough for this, obviously. You're a little older than me, right? So remember the Scared Straight program? They send kids into jail and they'd scare the shit out of them. Yeah. Okay, if I'm trying to teach a kid how to not be a heroin addict, I'm not sending me, who's never tried a recreational drug other than maybe some edibles.
Right.
I'm gonna send a fucking crack addict, fucking scratching himself, or someone who's recovered from crack to tell their story. So my goal is to, I've made my mistakes, and that, as a father, I do that every day, is I'm telling my daughter, okay, here's what you should do for college. Cause she's being recruited by colleges now for sports. Right. And luckily for her, I've been through that same process. Yeah, it was different back in the 90s, but I'd be like, hey, Cammie, here's how it works, or here's my understanding. So why not use the perspective we have from the mistake? Cause you were fat as fuck.
I was fat as fuck. Yep.
You were sexy fat. You were thick, like 10 C's.
I said multiple. I said that on my live yesterday. Did you watch
thick? I did. I was going to watch it on replay on the way to soccer tonight.
Thick. Like very, very thick. And the fucked up thing is, like, what I was saying here before, like, my argument behind that is, like, even if you take a look at me, right? 51 years old, I'm not on any medications. Okay, like, at all whatsoever. Like, do you know how rare it is for a 51-year-old to not to be on any medications? At least
statins. I'm actually pro statin, believe it or not. I've done more research on them. I'm pro statin for not necessarily for the exercising population, but for the general pop. I read the data. I'm so all over the place today. I've read the data on statins. I delved into it, and it's funny. It decreases all-cause mortality among the general population by like 11%. And if you stop taking it, your risk goes up 7 to 8% of dying. So there's something to be said about having not necessarily low cholesterol, but having, cholesterols within those health markers. I know the carnivore and the fucking keto dieters will argue with me till their fucking blood comes out of their eyes. But generally speaking, if I see normal range on a fucking blood work, I want to hit normal.
Right.
Call me crazy.
Exactly. We got one question, and then
we got topics.
Then we got topics. Mark, isn't eating the same thing every day not healthy? Can you guys get it more into this? Let me elaborate.
Let me elaborate. Same thing. So it doesn't mean I eat chicken and rice every meal. So for breakfast, I normally eat whole eggs or egg whites or a little of each. And I'll have either a piece of Dave's bread with it or potatoes, sweet potatoes, maybe some berries. Then I'll have an outright bar pre-workout, or I'll have that. Well, actually, that's been my first meal is outright bar before training. And then I'll have, tell me what's unhealthy about this. Either lean beef, fish, salmon, wild-caught salmon, or chicken, mixed with quinoa, potatoes or sweet potatoes, mixed with mixed veggies, which aren't just the cheap mixed veggies. I'm talking peppers and Brussels sprouts. Costco sells this great mix. And then I'll have MTS whey, which is super high in immune factors, glutathione production with the whey. I'll usually mix that with either oats and or a banana and or berries. I have a very, very varied diet. When I say I eat the same thing every day, I say I eat the same variety of foods, which are healthy foods. Whereas I just gave you 3 meats that I eat. Well, 4 if you count the eggs, 5 if you count the egg whites. So no, I don't eat the same exact food. I'm not eating chicken and rice meal 1, but the options are pretty much similar. And I also eat a ton of carrots, huge on carrots. And I mean, you can't have, when I told my doctor what I ate, and he's one of those, he's one of those like standard guys. He's like, yeah, it's a fucking great diet. There's a regular doctor. There's a regular, just normal fat person doctor. And he's like,
normal fat person doctor.
Well, he deals most of his patients.
I love that.
He said it himself. He's like, most of my patients are obese or overweight. Because I asked him, I said, what percentage of your patients, because you know me, I'm asking shit all the time. Like, what percentage of your patients are obese? He said, very vast majority. Because most people are overweight or obese. It's just the population. So yeah, you're absolutely correct. Eating the same thing every day. I'm sorry I misstated that to where you'd misconstrue it. And I truly am. But eating the same thing means I eat the same healthy foods and I rotate them. So there's probably 150 different foods that I rotated now.
I would say, like from a weight loss coach perspective on that, eating the same thing every day is only dangerous in 2 kind of ways. One, you risk you put yourself at risk of what's called fatigue. Like I get texture fatigue. Like if I eat ground meat a lot, like one week, if I have ground wagyu or ground bison one week, I need something crunchy, you know. So like I'll do some air fried potato chips or something like that, you know, or like just anything. I'll make granola or something, you know. But also the biggest thing you look for is like when you eat the same foods over and over again, if there is some sort of macro or micronutrient deficiency, normally a micronutrient deficiency in that, then it's something to look out for. But both Mark and I take Immortal and Nectar, which is a broad spectrum encompassing micronutrient profile. So I wouldn't worry about that as much, right?
Yeah, I do. I want to touch on granola. I know. So Kroger's pretty much gone back on all their mandates and stuff. And frankly, we were at our we were up in Gatlinburg for vacation. So I went to Kroger. There's this sea salt and dark chocolate granola there. It's their brand, the Private Selection. Holy shit. It changed my life. Like I will get obese if I have this anywhere near me. It's so good.
It's so awesome. Good. I make homemade granola with local honey. That way I get the
beautiful. The allergen benefits because you're the microdose. Yeah.
What happened between you and Review Tech? That one's for me. And then we're going to get to topics. Nothing. I had him on the channel to talk about obesity like years ago. And then when the pandemic hit, he was one of these people that really bought into it. I mean, he's a fat fuck. So, I mean, he really bought into it being dangerous. And very realistically, it was very like, he's not just fat. He's viscerally fat with sarcopenia. He has no muscle mass. No. So he had like people like him had every right to be terrified. I have no idea why I should have to fucking do something to protect him when he obviously teetotaled his own fucking health. But I know he made a video or 2 about me. But what happened between us? Nothing, because I don't give a fuck what he says about me. Like, I mean, like for it to be between 2 people, like there's no beef because I couldn't give a fuck less about what he says. You know what I mean? Like, I mean, like he's literally like, if me and him had a problem, I could just wait a couple of years until he dies from obesity, you know, and problem solved. So why the fuck? There's no problem. You know, like I'm in a mood too, dude. So just so you know, I mean,
I didn't. That caught me off guard, and I heard you say it. I'm like, whoa, hold on. Like, my wife said something the other day. I'm even afraid to say it on here. That I'm like, whoa, you said that? I'm not going to repeat it. She's shaking her head. Don't say it. Don't say it.
Savage.
I'm not saying. Dude, like if you get her, like she's not a public person. Like somebody yesterday was like, when is she going to do a follow up to how her health is after she got her breast implants taken out?
Yep.
And I said you should worry more about my mental health. I'm just playing. No, but I mean honestly, the quick review is she's healthy. Like that's all that matters. Like I don't like you've been with your wife long enough. Like I don't care if she comes out with 2 lopsided titties, like one's on her forehead. Like she's still my wife. I'm gonna love her. I'll just suck her forehead.
Wow.
Rubbing her forehead like this.
Wow.
Like, it gets a little erect, a little bump.
Oh, Jesus. This one's not being, YouTube just is not going to monetize this motherfucker. I can tell you that right now.
I don't know if you're not allowed to talk about forehead nipple rubbing. I didn't. That's not in the terms and conditions.
Dude, you went for the sucking though. It was the forehead nipple sucking.
Did I say sucking? I meant more pinching.
Yeah. Okay. Pinching, tweaking, like
tweaking.
The forehead nipple tweaking. Anywho,
Okay.
So one of the things you and I want to talk about today, we're 26 minutes in. One of the things we wanted to talk about today was
the longest fucking intro ever.
Yeah.
That was a Tim Pool intro. He's like 10 minutes in. He's like, let me read the article. I'm like, Jesus Christ, Tim, you've been talking for 20 minutes.
Yeah. Somebody said, Alan, you said John ate the same thing every day while I was eating. If you're talking about obese to woke, he prides himself on eating a stir fry every day. But I couldn't give a fuck less either. So irrelevant. Twitter blue check meltdown. So basically what's happened for those of you that don't know, and if you aren't following me on Twitter, I'm the MFing COO and Mark is at Mark Lobliner because he gets to use his actual fucking name and mine's already taken.
Well, I mean, it's your parents' fault for coming up with such a generic name. Should have called you like Shaquan Roberts.
Yeah, that would have been amazing.
Dude, imagine being a white guy with the name Shaquan.
That would have been amazing. I'm going to call my parents and complain right now.
I think you should probably shame them for that.
Yeah. Why didn't you name me Shaquan? Like I can just imagine my dad's face. But so for those of you that don't know, Elon Musk has taken over Twitter and he is allowing people. I see a lot, and me and Mark, you and I can talk about this, but I see a lot of people freaking out on the right and left too. People are like, oh, this is still happening. I'm like, I'm just saying whatever the fuck I want. Nobody's bothering me. I'm getting followers and shit like that.
It's
right?
Great, isn't it? Dude, I'm blown up.
I'm saying whatever the fuck I want, and that's why you should follow us there because I am literally letting it all the fuck hang out. So there's this thing called Twitter Blue, and Twitter Blue right now, both Mark and I have it, and what it allows you to do is, I love it. It's like $3 a month right now, and it allows you to edit posts up to 30 minutes after you post it, which is fucking huge because especially if you're working on your phone a lot, which is most of what Mark and I do. Between autocorrect and all sorts of shit, you'll end up saying something wrong. You only have 140 characters, and it could definitely fuck with you. Like it can change the meaning of what you're saying, right? And if you fucking have misspelling or something like that, people are like, "Oh my god, you can't even spell," blah blah blah, right? You don't know the difference between your and your. But so Elon Musk takes over, and Twitter has been a big woke fest for years. I mean, Mark and I still stayed, but it's been a big woke fest. So now he is going to have Twitter Blue. Like if you want to have a verification badge, like to verify that you're a real person or you're actually who you say you are, you're going to have to pay $8 a month to get Twitter Blue, which will then still come with being able to edit your posts. You can post longer videos. And he's talking about there being monetization of videos as like you would have on YouTube. Like my thing is there's return. Like to me, the editing is worth $8 a month. I mean, it just is just that alone. The longer videos worth it alone. But if I can all of a sudden monetize videos on there, if he figures that shit out, I mean, it's crazy. But the blue check, like a ton of fucking woke ass people are having like a meltdown about paying
amazing.
$8.
Well, it's not about the $8, Alan. It's about leveling the playing field with peasants, right? Yeah. Like I was fortunate enough to have 2 things going for me. One is pro bodybuilder, which makes me a professional fake athlete. And the second is I was on a TV show. So when I was on American Grit, Fox was able to get me verified across all platforms, from Instagram to Facebook, everything but TikTok I'm verified on. And TikTok I'm too old for anyway. Yeah. So That blue check came when I had less than 5,000 followers. That blue check came because I was on a TV show, and the TV show sucked, but I got the blue check because I was a TV star or a TV actor or whatever, or a reality star. So the blue check is what elites on both sides, mainly the left, but there are some right-wing idiots, use to feel like, you see these guys like 500 followers, 2,000 followers, and they're like, they have their blue check. So they feel the elite to someone without a blue check who actually provides content that's useful and has earned. I had a guy, this one guy follows me and I follow him back. He's a black Republican. I forgot his name. He doesn't have a blue check, but he has like 200,000 followers, provides some kick-ass fucking conservative content. Like I would say kick-ass content if he was a liberal. It's that good. It's like unique individual, it's something he does. It's unique. Right. And he doesn't have a blue check. So I don't understand why somebody who writes for a shitty fucking local newspaper gets a blue check when somebody who contributes a lot isn't. And let's be real, like the whole verification is to prevent counterfeits. Now, when they blue checked me, I had 5 legit counterfeit accounts on Instagram. Mark Lobliner's abs, Mark Lobliner's gay. There was a few of them. My favorite was Mark Lobliner's abs. That was my favorite. He was very good. Because it was kind of flattering. I mean, somebody did a body part account for me, and
dude, I had one. My best one was Alan Roberts ballsack guys. I loved it. I thought it was hilarious.
Yeah, but nobody could tell. Like, I guess I could tell Mark Lobliner's abs isn't my. People would tag like the wrong account, so we were able to be like, hey, this guy gets counterfeited. So the whole point of verification is to show that the person tweeting is the person tweeting. Right. Yeah. And it's to get rid of bots. So I know that I'm not wasting my time arguing with someone with 50 different computers set up to be a bot account paid for by George Soros. I know I'm actually like that Titus guy I argued with last night. Yeah. He's a real guy with a real account who's verified. So I knew that it was worth my time to grift on fucking owning him. Right. Or to get in this argument. Whereas if I'm arguing with, Democrat lover 453, I'm not going to spend time arguing with a paid operative because it's pointless and it's just a bot who just regurgitates bullshit. Whereas this Titus guy actually had some unique perspective that was wrong in my opinion, but we had a very, for us, I think both of us were taking it lightly. I don't think he was sitting in his room mad, fucking like punching the wall. I think we were both laughing and typing little quips at each other. People are like, why are you getting so mad? You don't understand. I'm usually laughing out loud when these things happen. I think it's hilarious. It's actually my entertainment. It's the only form of entertainment I have outside of, I'm not a TV watcher. I don't watch football. I tweet at people. So that's my entertainment. That's my recreation. I get 30 minutes a day so that was cool. So the verification makes me know that Titus is a real dude. So whether you're a carpenter from Virginia or whether you're a journalist from New York, if you can verify that that's you sending the tweets, then you should be verified. And there should be a fee. And here's why. Because it costs money to have someone verify somebody. Yeah. You literally have to go in, think about it. Like, I'm sorry to talk so much, but when we accept a product into Tiger Fitness, some brands will be like, we'll send you the first $5,000 in product for free as long as you put it up on the site. And I'll literally 99% of the time say no. And here's why. Number one, if the product doesn't sell, I have to return it anyway. Number two, it's going to take my company probably 5 to 6 man hours, depending on the amount of SKUs, to load that brand into the computer, get into the back end, get into Fulfill and Shopify. So I'm looking at 5 hours. I'm looking at probably $300 to $500 to $1,000 in my cost to just list that product. Twitter is going to pay somebody, probably a salaried employee or a low-level intern, going to make at least $20 an hour, right?
Right.
So they're going to pay somebody to verify the driver's license matches this, and then maybe one more form of identification, and then make sure you're legit, and then they have to verify you. And then every month, they probably have to go through and check to see if they're still active.
Right.
So I think $8 a month is the biggest fucking deal in the history of deals. Like as a Jew, I'm like, you should have charged 100. I would have paid 20, 30, 40, up to $50 for that thing. Because for me, people spend fucking $50 on DoorDash every night.
Yeah.
You can't spend $50 on something you're spending 8 hours a day shit tweeting on.
Mm-hmm. I mean, what the fuck? To me, I'm just happy I get to, like, my thing is, I have for years now put my name and face to the oftentimes very controversial shit I fucking say.
Yeah.
I try to, like, when somebody I know does the same thing and they're a real person, that holds more weight with me. You know what I mean? It just like I'll be much more interested in having that type of debate than any other debate. Somebody wants to say about Elon or any other CEO, don't make anyone your ultimate savior or your ultimate devil. Everyone is human. I got to be real. I frankly am not, like, I don't want it to swing all the way towards a Republican thing. Like, here's my thing, and this is no shit. And for those of you in the chat, tag anybody. Like, I would love to have an open, live fucking debate with anybody online about my hunger management method. Mark can talk with anybody about supplements and about what we do with the Ambrosia Collective. I would love to have a talk with anybody, but especially when it comes to the whole shit about the pandemic and stuff like that. I would debate the CDC director right fucking now and destroy her.
I would debate her without notes.
Yeah, I mean, and like just under 5 minutes.
It would be, she would cry and go running off and probably leave and say that we were misgendering her or something.
Yeah. I mean, because I have no issue with anything like that, right? But I mean, a lot of times Mark and I don't get people. But here's also the other thing. Like, I find it weird when people say that to us, like, don't make anybody your savior. A huge number of people are completely cut to fucking Jordan Peterson, and both Mark and I think he's a bitch.
Jordan Peterson is the quintessential grifting bitch.
Oh, he's a grifting bitch. And then, like, same thing, like, don't get me wrong, I like Shapiro and everything like that. I think he's intelligent, but I think he's a sellout too. So, like you said, somewhere along the line, he got, like, anybody that claims to be an intelligent human being that pushed this fucking jibby jab on people, I question you. You know what I mean? Like,
I've had this conversation with Elijah on air. These are all public. I'm not saying anything about our private conversations. Yeah. And with Gina and her crew at, I'm Doing Great podcast. And I posed the question, can you think of any other reason someone as smart as Ben Shapiro would promote it unless there was some kind of a monetary agreement? Yeah. And nobody could refute it.
Yeah. I can't get there either. Like, I really can't. Like, I cannot for the life of me think of why he would have done it. I give him more credit, more intellectual credit than that. Like, I actually
think he's so smart. He's so smart. That's why I'm like, God, I'm so disappointed. He could have. The thing is, you and I were out there getting fucking canceled, and this guy could have helped us. Yeah. Instead, he called everyone who didn't take the shot stupid.
Yeah. He's stupid.
And for that, like, he called me stupid. Yeah. And now who's the stupid one, Ben? When every time, thing is, karma's a bitch. Every time, if he worked out, let's assume he works out. Every time he trains a little bit too hard, he gets a little spasm, a little muscle spasm in his upper pectoral. He has to think to himself, am I having a heart issue from that shot?
Yeah, I would be terrified.
And I'd hate to be the one saying that. But I have yet to see his proof of vaccination. I would bet that Ben isn't vaccinated.
I would bet he isn't either.
He's too smart. He's too smart. Now, I'm not betting my house. I'll bet $20 because he's a scared little weak Jewish guy. Like, he's not, maybe he's just not tough. Like you look at the governor of Ohio. I don't think that he shut the state down because he's a mean person. I actually think DeWine is an okay individual. I think he's just a weak, old, scared man who was living his fears through everyone else. So Ben doesn't strike me as a strong-minded individual when it comes to his health and his physique. Yeah. So I can see that maybe Ben was biased for safety because he's so weak physically. Does that make sense without insult? I'm not trying to insult him at all. No, but that's my opinion on Mike DeWine, and I think it could actually be the reasoning for what Ben did, because I mean, think about it, dude. If you're weak and frail, I'm going to be like, dude, you guys got to all get this. I don't care if there's a 1% chance it works.
Yeah.
Then, so again, it still doesn't make it right. But like, I don't think Mike DeWine, as soon as shit started coming in overwhelming, he's like, Ohio was one of the first states to be like, well, we got to get the fuck out of this lockdown thing. Right.
Yeah.
And they lost a few court battles. My buddy, James McGuire, who was on here last time, he told us he was one of the guys who sued Mike DeWine.
Yeah. The thing for Shapiro, the jibby jab is one thing. It's just like there was never data to support the dangers anyway. I mean that's where you're gonna speak out against lockdowns and shit like that, but you're gonna be pro Vex. I just don't buy it. I just don't.
That's why I hope I'm wrong. I do, because shit, Daily Wire's up the road. What a fucking great opportunity it would be for me to be on that program. But again, I've never chased the dollar, and I'm not going to start now. It's one of the I have dollars. I like more dollars, but it's like I'm not going to sell out. So for me not saying that,
right,
and I want him to come up and say, hey, I put this on Yahweh. All right. That I did not fucking take anything. And I've called him out. I know he has seen it, because I know that the Daily Wire watches Gina's shit, because she used to be Candace's manager. Yeah. I want Ben. He doesn't have to name my name. I don't want him to name my name, because frankly, I don't want his crazy fucking followers coming after me. Yeah. Because I had enough of Titus's last night. Like that, that was enough. I'm done. I'm done shit posting on Twitter for at least a day or an hour. Yeah. But dude, an hour. Like, Ben, just please tell me. Please tell me. Dude, here's the thing though. Real quick, I want to address this real quick. So my portfolio is not run by me. I guarantee you I have Pfizer and Moderna stock. Yeah. I have. I don't know for sure, but my portfolio, I just went over it with my advisor yesterday. It's actually been very healthy considering the atmosphere. Yeah. And there's only one explanation. We're putting money in Pfizer.
Yeah, let me tell you something. Almost like when people say that shit, they try to use it against Marjorie Taylor Greene at one point in time too. I got a news flash for you. If your financial advisor if you have a financial advisor and they didn't invest some of your money into a corporation that was about to come out with fucking that had a government contract for a guaranteed number of whatever, they weren't being financially responsible with your money.
Okay, let me explain.
You're supporting big pharma.
No, I don't know. So obviously X is poor. So when you have money, and this is not an insult to you, but let me explain to you how this works, because one day if you become successful, you will hire a financial advisor. Yep. And what you do is you say, hey, here's $1 million. Mm-hmm. Make it work. Yeah. So they put it in, they might put it in, if you have kids, to 529s. They might put it into whatever. And in that, they have fund managers. Yeah. And they say, hey, this fund manager shows a 15% return over 10 years on average. So I'm going to give it to this fund manager. Yeah. And so then, okay, so he gives it to that fund manager, and the fund manager, he manages the funds within his portfolio. I know what percent are aggressive. I know what percent are moderate. I know what percent are conservative. I know how many bonds. I know international. Yeah. I don't know the individual stocks. I don't know. And here's the thing though, X, I don't have time to go in with all I know is that I have a portfolio. Someone else manages
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 comments in like 3 minutes later, dude.
Damn. But I do think so, but again, I might not have any stock in any of them. I have no idea. And nobody really does unless you're playing day trading. Day trading is different. That's like, I heard Pfizer is coming out with this new heart medication. So I'm going to dump 10 grand into Pfizer. No, mine is like, I'm not saying I have $1 million. I'm saying, let's say here's $1 million. Go. Right. And that's what so I don't have time to go over every detail, and I don't know what I'm doing. Like, these guys know how to invest. Yeah. That's why I pay them. So when you get to a level where you have this money and you're not day trading, you have long-term and short-term portfolio options. Short-term would be day trading, Bitcoin trading, whatever it is. Long term is your 401k. So are you telling me, X, that if you have a 401k, okay, that you're going to your 401k manager through your company every day and asking them what companies they're investing in? No, you have no idea. Everybody here with a 401k, which is probably out of 147, I'm hoping at least 130 of y'all have a 401k or an IRA or something. 100% of you have no fucking idea where that money's going.
Yeah.
That's just you're playing the market.
X will have to sign in under their other troll account and answer because I blocked them. So,
well, I love it. You're like, you have zero tolerance. You're like, you don't negotiate with terrorists.
Well, your name is X and you're fucking coming on and you're going to fucking like spam post. Fuck off, dude. I mean, like, here's like, it's a person that, just like you said, clearly doesn't understand what's up. My thing is, don't get me wrong, I think fucking the pharmaceutical industry is evil. However, there's a lot of evil shit that goes on that I'm not going to fucking strap the thing I'm going to look out for the most is my family. You know what I mean? Like, I don't want it's the same thing. The oil industry is evil as fuck. You're going to pretend like you don't have plastic in your house? Shut the fuck up. You know,
hey, I have those stocks too. So the thing is, but again, and this isn't distancing myself. This is just like, I don't know. Yeah. I don't know where that shit goes. I just know that if he doesn't perform, we have to have a conversation. And that's why every 4 to 6 weeks I go in, I sit down. My wife and I sat down yesterday for an hour and a half and we go over all of our stuff. We went over our term and what do they call fixed life insurance. We went over our trust, all this stuff. So what I'm getting at is, if anybody wants us to do more financial stuff, I'm not an expert, but I have worked up the ladder of shit. So I have learned. I had a financial advisor before that was absolute trash. The guy I have now, I'll recommend to everybody. This guy's amazing. His name's Roper. He's the greatest ever. And he'll sit down, he'll talk to you. He over communicates and I mean, it's great. So my advice, whether you have $10,000 or $10 million, get a financial advisor. And again, if you want the info to my guy, and again, he's not giving me commission. Hopefully he buys me a good Christmas gift though. Yeah. I'll just DM me on Instagram and I'll send it over. He's a great guy. So
the next topic I wanted to, because we can talk forever, but the next topic I wanted to talk about is the Vaxxer karma. Now, I'm going to let everybody know this is likely going to hurt some feelings. Okay. So, because.
Do you have the shit post she had before?
Yes.
Did you have that? Oh God. Okay. Yeah. We don't want anybody to die.
No, I don't want anybody to die. I don't. But this lady did say this. This is Julie Powell. And she actually, I loved her show. She did a show where she tried to cook her way through Julia Child's cookbook. Like, it made every recipe. Like,
God bless her for that.
I fucking love it, right? But she decided to say, I would argue that COVID doesn't kill some of the right people.
Does kill some of the right people.
Or does kill some of the right people. Excuse me. The anti-vaxxers, maskers are dying in legions. But yes, it's some real shame about Kavanaugh. And there was multiple other ones where she's just kind of talking raggedy shit.
Who would say that?
Yeah, I mean,
like, I literally post when people who get the vaccine die.
Yeah.
And here's why. Oh, there's the multi one.
Yeah. The notary is intended to get vaccinated, so that's fun. We're civil. We probably shouldn't have been. I'll admit that I'm a little neurotic with masks, and I'll admit that I'm not asking my co-shoppers, are you vaccinated or not? It's true. I'm okay as a vaccinated person surrounded by vaccinated people, but I don't trust my country people, not even a little bit. I agree 87%. If say we're hanging out this weekend, I would be comfortable with that. I mostly don't want to get lunatic, unvaccinated, sick. They're assholes, but they shouldn't have to die from it. So at least she said we shouldn't have to die.
By the way, I'd like to say, if I wasn't married, I would ask Julian Cook to marry me right now. She has no chill. Chill.
Yeah.
No chill.
Not at all. Not at all. So unfortunately, and I'm looking for the multi one where she's talking about like the shit she went through. And it's unfortunate. I will say this. It's really, really, really unfortunate.
Because she could have changed. She could have changed. She could have learned her lesson. Like Ben Shapiro, I think, is truly sorry for what he did, whether he took money or not. I truly believe, and he has blood on his hands. 100%.
Oh, absolutely. They all do. This is where she says, so as a vaccinated person, boosted person, I've not been tested for COVID. Is it possible for me to be at this point? The long COVID thing worries me, but also keep in mind that I'm a hypochondriac. I mean, you didn't need to say that. You obviously are.
So can we say this? I will say that it might not be. So she said she was a mask freak.
Yeah.
I will say that the more you wear masks, the more detriment it has to your cardiovascular and your respiratory health. So who's to say she didn't get a coronary bacterial infection? There's a lot of things that can go on when you're following these incorrect protocols.
Well, a couple of days before she died, because that's the thing, she has died, and I'm sorry, but that's kind of karma to me, But so she said, so I woke up with something that's literally black hairy tongue. People, including my doctor, seem to think it's no big deal and will go away soon, but it's certainly gross. So I'm just going to say, if you have black hairy tongue and you then go to the fucking doctor and they say it's no big deal, go to another doctor. Get a second fucking opinion.
I need to Google what the hell black hairy tongue is.
I mean, look at that. I can really see the art.
Oh my God, it's a thing.
Black hairy tongue's a thing?
It's a condition of the tongue in which small bumps on the tongue elongate with black or brown discoloration, giving a black and hairy appearance. The appearance may be alarming, but is a harmless condition, predisposing factors include smoking, dry mouth, soft diet, poor oral hygiene, and certain medications.
Well, the certain medications thing, because she died of a heart attack a couple days later. And I know people are like, oh, well, you're talking about vaccinated person and karma. If you can't correlate the massive amount of heart attacks people are having to this, it's pretty fucking crazy.
What is it, like an 80% increase or something? Somebody put, I haven't fact checked that, so please fact check me. It's some crazy amount because I didn't know, and someone posted a study and I didn't validate the study at all. I was just like, okay, cool. So it's not hair, it's just discoloration of the tongue.
Yeah, this post, on the other hand, from 2020, kind of makes me not like her more. I really can see the argument for slaughtering white people in the streets.
But isn't she white?
She's super white.
What the hell's going on here?
It's not gonna happen because most people are better than me. But Jesus, I see the temptation. I'm gonna get banned, aren't I? No, you're not gonna get banned.
No, she's not, because she's on the left.
Yes.
But if I said that, I would have been banned. So here's a question. And I mean this, like, are Jews considered white if we go for the white massacre? Because I would really like to play the Jew card if that happens.
Yeah, I think I would. If I was you, I'd play the Jew card for that.
I'm definitely playing the Jew card. That's the first time being Jewish didn't get us put into camps.
Oh, God damn.
Did I go there?
Yeah, you went there. This fucking... and then this is, so November 1st, and she woke up at black hairy tongue, and then 6 days later, it was announced that she had passed away, died at 49.
Think they're correlated?
I mean, if I woke up and my tongue was black and hairy, I would certainly fucking be tweaked.
I can't understand why anyone. So if you have the vaccine and it works, why would you wish death upon those who didn't get it?
That's the thing.
I still don't understand that in all my heart. And I've tried to understand it, but it comes down to the same reason these are the people complaining about the blue check. The vaccine made them feel superior. It made them feel like they're better than someone. They had something to brag about. So they used it as leverage to shit on everyone else. That's what's really fucking absurd about this is that we have a population right now, a portion of the population who is a cult, and they will use anything to get the other person, even if it is medical choice, when at the same time they're the ones trying to legalize baby murder up to the point of the kid being 1 year old. You've seen that. They can literally, they want to be able to stab a baby as it's coming out of the birth canal at 9 months old.
Yeah.
And I mean, you and I are both pro-choice, but we're not that pro-choice. That's not pro-choice. That's pro-murder.
That's pro-murder. Yeah.
We're both, for the record, we're both pro-choice. We both do not want to ban abortion. We just think there should be some rules. Like there's rules to everything, right? Like I can't play a basketball game and just go fucking chop someone's head off. There's fouls. It's a foul if you kill a baby that's viable. That's a foul. That's a technical foul. You're out of the game. And in soccer, that's a red card. You're out.
Yeah. I mean, that's absolutely. I mean, I just find like the whole cultish attitude of it, like that's why they're freaking. You're right. That's 100% why they're but yet they'll avoid stuff like what like the actual health. We, for 2.5 years, we have now avoided, talking about real actual health. And yet like we have shit like this going on too. This is like one of our next topics.
The type 2 wave.
Yeah. The type 2 wave. So
there's a type 2 wave. Oh my God. You sent this to me, man.
Yeah. This is, by the way, this is from the UK. But this is what the atypical American male looks like right now, you fat fucks. That
is exactly, as someone, now, luckily for me, we're in a very fitness conscious community, so I don't see this as much. But when I travel, have you been to a water park lately?
Oh, dude.
So the boys have tits. Yeah. Like they literally have estrogenic boobs. Yep. And it's not normal. Like my son, he plays defensive line, so we've bulked him up. Preston no longer has those cute little abs. Preston's a lineman because he's eating for his sport. Yeah. He's still not fat, but he's got a little chunk, but he still doesn't have breasts. So these kids are walking around. They're so underactive. They're eating such bullshit foods that they're literally growing tits. Yeah. And so what's crazy about this is you predicted this, is that we're going to have the great fattening of 2020, as you said.
Yeah. I mean, the sad thing that's going on, dude, is that like there is literally a wave of like whenever the population goes through a massive phase of fattening or something of poor health, it's not just the poor health event. It's not just the getting fat. What's going to happen is there's just going to be a blast out of the chronic illness and diseases that come from it, right? Mm-hmm. So type 2 diabetes, coronary artery disease, like the heart attacks. We have normalized heart attacks for fucking teenagers. Yeah. I mean, and part of that is, no doubt, part of it is the fucking experimental therapy that a bunch of people took from a historically corrupt industry to avoid a cold. You fucking weird ass, stupid people. But I'm sorry. It's like, how the fuck don't you see this happening? But the wave of type 2 diabetes is coming. This says that Manchester surgeons have become really skilled in amputations because of certain diabetes and obesity problems. We've now got a whole team of Manchester Hospital Trust that are really skilled in amputating limbs because we have had diabetes and circulatory problems. It is an epidemic. And I have a video we should normalize, that we should be normalizing stumps, like stumps for legs and stuff like that. Like prosthetics.
If you got it in an accident or in a war, or from a disease, that's great. If you literally ate yourself to lose a limb, that's a problem.
Yeah.
Diabetes. I saw my dad, like my father died from type 2 diabetes, which is one of the reasons I got in the fitness industry. Yeah. And, I remember, he said he had a hernia surgery. It turns out he was getting a pump put in his penis because it didn't work anymore. Yep. Which is really awkward to learn, even if you're 30, you know what I mean? Like that's like, oh, that's weird. So yeah, I thought he had a hernia surgery, but turns out it wasn't. It was that. And then as he got older, I remember he slipped and cut his toe when he was cutting his toenails, and it wouldn't heal, and he almost lost his foot. And then he ended up dying of essentially, and then he had a kidney. He had a secondhand kidney, so he had a kidney transplant. And then I witnessed him. He died of basically an aneurysm in the brain. Yeah. So, diabetes should not be normalized. It is. But it is. It is diabetes, type 2 diabetes. Type 1, you get the insulin pump and you live a healthy lifestyle. You're going to have a pretty normal life. All things considered. When you look at, which is the type 1 is genetic. Type 2 is lifestyle driven.
Yeah, and 95% of it is type lifestyle.
We should never normalize such. I've seen diabetes. Mm-hmm. I've seen it kill somebody, and it is fucking tragic. And this is that's how I lost my dad. So if anybody says, you don't know what, no, I know. I grew up with it. I had to watch my whole life. My dad was dying from the day I was fucking born, literally dying. And he could have stopped it. So normalizing obesity, normalizing type 2 diabetes, normalizing amputations, I'm not on board. Cancel me all day long. Don't care.
Right. And by the way, those of you that are trying that, it's because it's sugar. Like it's people just have a problem with being like, I can't tell you how many clients we've had come to us, 300 pounds, and they eat 200 grams of sugar in a day. It's fucking insanity. You know what I mean? Like, but sugar's a drug that reaches up and catches people. This is one of the things I use. Mark and I are working on a sugar control supplement coming out. I call it Product 2. We can't release the name yet because we're still in trademark. Yeah. But you can go to tigerfitness.com and get Nutrient Driver. It has berberine in it. Berberine has been shown to be as clinically effective for blood sugar regulation and stuff like that as metformin. Like for women with PCOS, there's actually studies that show that it is actually more beneficial to be on berberine at its clinical dose than being on metformin. So you can check that out right there too, people.
Yeah.
Give me one more second. I wanted because somebody actually brought this up, and this is the last thing we wanted, like we had here. But this to me is a problem. Okay. Whoops, I gotta go here, and
yes, and Julian, by the way, type 2 diabetes can be reversed.
Yes.
I've seen it happen. Now, I'm not saying it's likely, but I'm saying it's possible.
Yeah. It's through, it needs to be lifestyle change. Like, you know, a good 75% of all of our expenditure, 75 to 80% of all of our expenditure in the United States is literally from avoidable lifestyle driven illness. Now, this one gripped me. Weight loss drug helps teens with obesity lower their BMI, study finds. The drug Wegovy, and I told Mark, I remember in a text message to Mark and Sean, I said about like 6 months ago, I was like, you watch, they're going to start pushing these weight loss drugs to everybody hot and heavy. I mean, they don't care. Wegovy is a higher dosage of a drug called semaglutide, and it has a black box warning for possible thyroid tumors on it. And now we're offering, like, they're talking about 12 to 17 year olds being put on a weight loss injectable once a week weight loss high dose drug.
$900 injection. $900 an injection. That's what I heard. So here's the problem. Kids don't need this. Kids can lose weight. Yep. Kids do not need this at all. They just need to be more active and eat better. And now we're getting them addicted to prescription drugs at an early age.
Yeah. I wanted to pull something up here because I found this to be telling. Where's it at? Because this is how the pharmaceutical industry works when it comes to this shit. And don't get me wrong, I mean, I'm not. Some people, there's some pharmaceuticals that are absolutely needed. I wish it's in here somewhere because I read it. I've read all these studies.
Like I said before, I'm a fan of statins for most Americans.
Yeah. So over 73% of those who received the medication had a weight loss of 5% or more, as compared to 18% of those who received only lifestyle mitigations. Now, 5% or more weight loss in 68 weeks is not fucking great. I'm just letting you know.
No, but lifestyle got you 18%.
Yeah.
Why not just lifestyle?
Right. The average weight of participants was 237 pounds, and 193 made it to week 68. 131 got the medication plus lifestyle intervention, and 62 received just lifestyle only. So it is 68 weeks, and they're boasting 15%. You know, now some people, she lost more than 70 pounds. That's outstanding, but she's a child and probably had to. I mean, I think she was very big. She was 250 pounds as a 17-year-old, and probably had to eat better, everything like that. My fucking problem with this drug is I can see the benefit for somebody that just can't stop eating. Like, because that's what this does. This, by the way, these drugs are designed to do damn near exactly what no morbidity does.
Yep.
Except they are a artificial form of a hormone that dampens down your hunger hormone, whereas no morbidity works on the biological mechanism that produces the hormone, where your body doesn't even produce as much of it, where it counteracts it. You know what I mean? Plus, ours is is in capsule, and you don't have to inject it. And but beyond that, it doesn't give you thyroid tumors.
Yes, that's always a plus.
It's always a plus. I've avoided having thyroid tumors as much as possible. So my thing about this is, when we take a look at the push for weight loss surgeries and all like that, as it gets younger and younger and younger, I wanted to caution people, because here's the thing: if you start your child on some sort of medication like this, the chances of them just being done and not being on pharmaceuticals anymore is zero, pretty much, in my mind. Like, they're going to be on something,
Absolutely. With that said, I have to jump to another meeting, man. I appreciate everything, guys. I think Alan will probably stay on for some questions. If I can hop back in, I will. I'll see if you guys are still on. But I appreciate it, guys.
And I will take a few questions, and then I got to run too, but I'll take